Doomdeer Gang and random Doctor Who fans who may have clicked on this video. Today we'll be breaking down and discussing the trailer of the new season 1 or series 14, however you want to say it. I'll be putting across my views. Now before we get into it, my views are heavily inspired by The Confused Adipose and Who Culture. I'll put a link to their channels in the description below. Go check out their videos. I'm in no relation in contact with any of them, but they heavily inspired my views and my thoughts on this trailer and on what could possibly happen. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into this breakdown. Alright, so as you saw at the beginning of the video, the little clip, as you saw at the beginning of the video, in the little clip I showed you, I showed you all the titles of the new series, season, however you want to say it. So, episode 1 is called Space Babies, and I got this from Who Culture, and I completely agree with them, so I'm putting it in this video. It doesn't really seem like a Doctor Who title, whether you want to say that or not, but it doesn't really seem like one. But I am excited to see what happens, and in the trailer breakdown we'll get into later, you see some shots and some scenes of the episode 1, but from what you can see there, that's like the Demogorgon-esque villain type thing. So, and obviously you have it seems very horror-like for a for what seems to be like a quite innocent episode title. So maybe they're completely 180ing everyone, or completely 360ing everyone, BBC, Doctor Who, Disney, whatever, and making the title mislead them into thinking, oh, this is going to be a nice, calm, nice introduction, but no, it's in fact going to be a horror, it's going to be scary, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, but with some comedic elements in it. Now, if we carry on this trailer, now we get The Devil's Chord. This is the musical-esque episode where they go back to the Beatles, and the music they use here is very ominous. Like it's a very scary version of Ring Around Roses, I think it's called. Now this is the one with Jinx Monsoon, and we'll get into the trailer breakdown in more depth, but this is the one we're going to have the main musical number. Now, The Devil's Chord is a very good and Doctor Who-y title. I am just hoping that it seeming as it's got the word devil in the title, I am hoping that it's a scary episode, seeing as the devil is known to be the most scariest thing this planet could take on. Or seeming as it's a opposite of God, and etc, etc. And I think the end of this episode will tie into the main plot of this season or series. I don't even know what it's called now, but yeah. Now moving on from episode 2. By the way, episode 1 and 2 are both released on the same day, so you'll get the baby episode, and then you'll also get a musical number on the same day, which is not bad at all. Now, boom. This is the episode that's written by Steven Moffat. Yeah, it's quite a simple title, just boom. It's the episode, and we'll get onto this again in the trailer later in the video. It's the episode where the Doctor steps on a landmine, and that's pretty much all we know. So, yeah. Now, it is still unreal to think Russ RTD and Steven Moffat are back. Just give it a few years. I'm guessing Chris Chibnall will come back, but I bet he won't, seeming as he did have quite a lot of negative feedback from the Doctor Who community. Now, the episode Boom, the title obviously reminds me of Boomtown from the series 1 of the New Who era. I'm going to refer to this new era as the New Who era. So yeah, it reminds me of Boomtown, but I think there is going to be a big explosion, and this came from this point came from one of the 2 channels I listed earlier. They think it's going to be a very Doctor-light episode. Now, I would actually personally love that, because if you think to turn left, the Doctor was only in that for, maybe about 3 or 4 minutes out the whole episode. So it was a very Doctor-light episode. And then obviously Midnight was the flip of that, having it being a Doctor Central episode, not really having the companion. But yeah, I think something explosion-wise is going to happen in this episode, and knowing it's Steven Moffat, I think it's going to be good. So yeah, let's move on to episode 4. 73 yards. So this is mid-season, episode 4. So 73 yards. Now, this came from Who Culture, this point. They think it's and Ellie Littlechild. She thinks, and Who Culture thinks, that it's something following Ruby Sunday, which actually makes sense if you think about it. And they're always 73 yards away. So the other episode, they're not fill-up, but they're kind of like world-building, establishing the characters, and they're kind of just like standalones. But this one's going to be linking back to the main arc. Most the Doctor Who community think, which I personally like. Cause usually with RTD, the mid-season episodes are the ones he goes back to the main arc. But yeah, 73 yards. Judging off this picture, it looks like it's going to be like a scary-ish episode. And I hope throughout the season, you, like, in the background, you just have like a black, not, that seems racist, but you have like a fully black shadow figure just following Ruby everywhere she goes. So, and this episode is the one where they sort of not realise it, but yeah, they realise it. Now, moving on to episode 5. Dot and Bubble. Now, we'll get into this later in the trailer, but Dot and Bubble, again, it's most likely going to be a standalone episode, but judging by what the background is here, it reminds me of, what's the episode? It reminds me of The Bells of St. John, where everyone's stuck in the internet, seeming as that's what's behind. Now, by accident, we've moved on to Rogue. This is the episode where they go back to I can't remember what the era is called, but they go back to like the not. They go back to the like Bridgerton era, and Bridgerton is relate like it's mentioned a few times in the trailer, but I think it's going to be quite a good episode. This is the one with the people who think it's Captain Jack. I really hope it isn't Captain Jack, because I don't think anyone would do good as a job as John Barrowman. If you're not going to get John Barrowman back, because he's a time agent, you could just, and the galaxy, the universe is huge. You could just say, oh, he's here or he's here, but that's not the point of this episode. So Rogue, I have a feeling that Captain-esque person, I had a thought whilst watching the Confused Adipose and watching Who Culture, could the Captain-esque person be called Captain Rogue? I mean, possibly, or someone could be Rogue, like he could be on the run, or he's Rogue. He's maybe left the time agency, seeing as he's got that weird ass gun. But yeah, I think it'll be quite a good episode. And obviously it's linking to Bridgerton. I've never watched anything to do with that era, but yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good episode. Now, moving on to the two-parter finale, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. So, this is very much it's like a ominous, like, you've got The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and it linked, and like the title reminds you of like the Legend of the Sea Devils, or the Legend of this, Legend of that, and well, it's going to be very much Who is Ruby Sunday-esque episode, and I just know it's going to end on a cliffhanger, how all the two-parters do. My prediction is something will happen to Ruby Sunday, and that's where the episode will end. Something will happen to Ruby, and then in the next episode, the finale, they will try to do some timey-wimey thing. But yeah, Legend of Ruby Sunday. Gonna find out who Ruby Sunday actually is. I hope we find out who that Ruby Sunday's neighbour is. Some people are saying that's Ruby Sunday from the future. Some people are saying it's this, it's that. I hope we find out who it is. Sorry, that was on dislike. It must have clicked. I'll never dislike anything Doctor Who. Anyway, moving on to the finale. Empire of Death. Now, Empire of Death, it kind of makes you think something tragic is going to happen. Now, there's a few theories I've heard on the interwebs. One of the theories is that somebody will die. Whether that's someone related to Ruby, whether it's Ruby herself, whether it's or whether it's Kate, whether it's someone like that. It could be Rose Noble, or it could even be the 14th Doctor who dies. It could be Donna, which would be very controversial. Same with 14th Doctor, but judging by the TARDIS with the title, you've got to think that it's something is going to happen to the TARDIS. Seeing as all these backgrounds with the titles have something linked, I think it's going to be something related to the TARDIS. Now, keep in mind there are two TARDISes, and the original TARDIS that we've been following for the past 60 years, or however long, or at least from the start of the New Who era, is still with the 14th Doctor. Because if you remember back to the end of the 60th, Ncuti flies away in the copied TARDIS. So whether something's going to happen to the copied TARDIS and Ncuti's going to have to take the OG TARDIS, or something's going to happen to the OG TARDIS, the 14th TARDIS, and then you'll only have one TARDIS left. Because obviously it's stated in one of the episodes previously that there can't be more than one of the same TARDIS. I know it was something of the toy maker, etc, etc, but what if, and I'll get into my theories after the breakdown or in a separate video, because I know this video is going to be a long-winded video, but Empire of Death also makes me think Daleks. Empire, Daleks. Because obviously the Dalek Empire, or Sontaran Empire, but we got the Sontarans quite recently. I think, or Cybermen, but then again, we did get the Cybermen quite recently. But yeah, I feel like Empire of Death could easily be changed into Empire of Daleks. Now, there's no sign of Daleks in the trailer. That's just not a spoiler. It's just knowing that. Maybe I don't think they'll change the title for the episode, but I feel like there will be some form of. Now, this is confused Adiposes' theory that Daleks will be in the episode. It's just kind of a Russell T Davies thing to do. Like, he also did the Daleks so well, unlike Chris Chibnall, and to be honest, Stephen Moffat as well. But yeah, I think that will be a good finale. I really hope it is a good finale. And Empire of Death, something happening with the TARDIS. I think it's going to be rather a TARDIS-based episode, or it's going to be like a Dalek-based episode. Now, we'll be moving on to the trailer now. So now we are moving on to the actual trailer 2. I haven't done a trailer breakdown yet, but if you want to get a more in-depth and more professional-esque trailer breakdown, head over to Who Culture or to the Confused Adipose, and they will give you their thoughts. Now, before we get into the trailer, make sure, if you like this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want slightly different content, to reviews, to trailer breakdowns, so something like, if you want more like lively content, maybe something more similar to Roadman 4, let's get to 300 subscribers, and I'll do more of that type-esque of videos. And so something is also coming on Team D Gang's birthday, which is this month. And yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get into the trailer. I have put it at 0.25 speed so we can break it down. So this first shot, I think that's just a shot for the trailer. It won't be in the series. It's just kind of like a shot trying to grab people in to the into the trailer. Now, this is a shot we saw from a previous trailer, which I uploaded on my channel. Please go watch it. So it's just the TARDIS flying into unit, which is, I feel like it's from one of the two-parters, or it could even be from one of the early episodes, but I believe from the two-parters. Alright, you know, I'll put it in 0.5 speed, because this is very slow. Alright. So that shot you just saw there, it's quite dark, but that shot there, it's from the Devil's Chord, the musical-esque episode. Yeah. This, we presume, is from episode 1, because it's still got all the Christmas decorations up, or it could be from The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and they're actually using time travel and going back to, actually going back to a time where, yeah, but judging by how the TARDIS is, like, materialising in the actual flat, I think this flat will end up collapsing by the end of the series. judging by like the foreshadowing of the roof cracking and the foreshadowing of and more roof cracking here. Oops. So yeah, I hope they do use actual time travel. They don't just go back to present day. So they go actually back into the past. So we see the future, and maybe it's not good. So they go back into the past, try to prevent it, possibly. I don't know. That's just a little close look. Now, this shot is, I'm saying, from The Legend of Ruby Sunday, not the finale. It could be from the finale, Empire of Death. But it just seems like quite an uplift moment for what seems to be quite a dark and more, like, a more, dark episode. And obviously, now he's saying that to Rose Noble, and that is the reason why people think Donna is going to be in the episode. Now, personally, I think David Tennant will be in at least the finale to some capacity, whether it's just a quick cameo, or if not, I think they will save him either for a unit spin-off or another spin-off. Or what I think what the Ncuti era is going to do is, by the time Ncuti leaves, which, to be honest, it won't be too long with how far in advance they're releasing things, but when it becomes Ncuti's last episode, which I think this should be a Christmas special, a standalone, well, not standalone, but they should kind of wrap up everything, and possibly you could even go back to the 60th era, at least back to Wild Blue Yonder, and Ncuti could stop the 14th Doctor from putting all the salt down, which could stop the Toymaker from ever being made, which then could stop, but then that would stop, it would cause a paradox, because you would have Ncuti here, but then it would cause a paradox, it would cause a weird timey-wimey thing, but I just thought, it seems to be a timey-wimey Doctor Who-esque thing. You can go back into the past, stop the 14th Doctor from, they can realise that all of this has happened from the 14th Doctor putting salt on the floor to the no things. So they could kind of stop him from putting the salt on the ground, and it would be a kind of cool way to bring David Tennant into the episode without actually, in a way, bringing David Tennant into the episode. Now, this shot is from The Devil's Cord. Yeah. Now, this one, I think, again, rather the finale or The Legend of Ruby Sunday. Judging by, because Ruby's there and she's also got her adoptive mother, I think it's from The Legend of Ruby Sunday. But it could easily be from the finale. And this is basically the Doctor establishing himself.
Ow, stink bat!
And now he just presses button in the TARDIS, and the Mavity, not Gravity, Mavity. And maybe that's how they fix like the word Mavity. They also need to. I think that would just be a quite cool thing at the end of this. Is happening through the whole of Ncuti's era, not just this season. It happens through the whole of his eras. Things with time are going wrong, and that's a huge finale. It could be over an hour-long finale on Christmas Day. That's why I'm saying a Christmas special. Just kind of drop the Christmassy element, like kind of with Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, you kind of just drop it. Didn't really have a Christmas element in it. Only had a tiny little section. When in actual fact it was released on around the Christmas period, and all of that. Now this is most likely from Dot and Bubble. The confused adipose thought it was Gallifrey, or who called, I can't remember. I watched both videos not consecutively, so after one or the other. So, but on initial thought, but no, I don't think this is Gallifrey. It would be cool if it was a very Gallifrey a long time in the past, but Dot and Bubble, I don't think it is Gallifrey. I think it's looking like it's a bubble with a city, but it reminds me of one of the Mandalorian episodes, the one with Jack Black and Lizzo. that the bubble-esque things. It's reminding me of the bubbles on Mandalore, just coming from a Star Wars and Doctor Who fan. Now, that shot there you just missed. It was the shot of the TARDIS on the cliff, and in the previous trailer, obviously the TARDIS is withering away, which I think there's two choices. It's rather 14th TARDIS, or it could be Ncuti TARDIS. Now, judging how that Ncuti coming out of the TARDIS, I think that Ncuti's TARDIS is going to end up dying, or slowly throughout his era, things will keep going wrong. And like I've said before, they'll have to go back to the 60th to stop the toy maker from being made. Yeah. Now that's from the musical episode again, both those two shots. This is from the first episode, the Space Babies, also because you got babies in the tanks, and you also got Ruby in her Christmas special attire. This is from the Bridgerton era episode, so yeah, just cool people, nothing really to say. Now this is the guy people say is Captain Jack. I do not think he is, because they'll cause too much controversy. And also, even though John Barrowman, he possibly won't come back. I think he will eventually, but he probably won't come back to Doctor Who. He is still a Doctor Who fan, and he's stated that. He's still a Doctor Who fan, and so if he watched this episode seeing that this new actor is Captain Jack, whether he would like it or not, and also with the fan base as well, I don't think this is Captain Jack. And Captain Jack isn't a character you can recast, because he's not a time. If it was a Time Lord, then yes, you could just recast him, like the Doctor gets a recast every few seasons. But I think this is some other time agent guy, who, Now, I actually have a theory that this time agent guy could be getting hunted by Captain Jack, but that's not really a Captain Jack thing to do. But he will be the Captain Jack Harkness-esque figure, I think, throughout the Ncuti era. But he's not Captain Jack.
Oh, this is so Bridgerton.
Yeah, another name drop. More Ruby. More. That's from Space Babies, or at least that's from Space Babies. That's from the Bridgerton. Most likely from episode 1. Episode 1, most likely. That's from the Devil's Court. This is Space Babies. Now, there's a lot going on in this trailer. That's the Space Babies villains. Episode 1's villain. That is it there. Now, this is, people have said this is from the episode Boom, or it could even be from the finale or something like that. But judging how there's explosion, boom, explosion, how good, how cool, swag, how cool. Anyway, yeah. So people think that it's from. I think also it's from the episode Boom, and it's going to be a Doctor-like episode. I think also it'll be a TARDIS-like episode as well. I think the Doctor won't. I don't think this is going to happen, but what my theory is, the Doctor will step on the landmine, he'll get blew up, and Ruby has to kind of make her way back in the past to stop the Doctor going. I just really like the time travel thing, and I want them to make more of time travel, and yeah. Or it could easily be one for the finale. Now this is a cool shot. the unit. I mean, it's just I think this is the Earth and the Moon. Now, I think this is from the finale episode, judging how just like grand and judging how cinematic this shot is. Same as Doctor Who. But then again, you have got the Disney budget in it as well, so this shot could be from any of the episodes.
You keep us safe.
I think that's from one of the earlier episodes. Or it could even easily be from The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I think... yeah. That one with the Doctor crying, I think that's from either the finale or The Legend of Ruby Sunday. Or someone close to him's going to die. Whether that's Kate, Rose, Ruby, one of Ruby's, like, adopted parents, or it could even be Donna or the 14th. Anyone could die. Yeah. That shot we saw in the previous trailer, it's from the finale. I would like it if it was a Dalek invasion. I would like it how this dust comes over and then the Dalek ships just, cinematically come flying through, and the Dalek music plays, and it's all ominous. It's all scary, and make the Daleks an actual scary thing again. But then again, they might just not use the Daleks for season 1 or series 14, just because, I mean, you are getting on a whole bunch of new viewers, and I'll do a separate video judging my thoughts on the time frames it's released. I know that got released ages ago, but I'll do a video on that one day. But yeah, I think it's a good shot, but I'm just thinking, will the Daleks be involved? It could be, but then the chances are they're not. Even though they are Doctor Who's kind of like face villain. So when you think of Doctor Who, people think Dalek and TARDIS. That's kind of what people think. So it would make sense for... And judging it's RTD who's written the last episode, it'll be good. Obviously, that's Jinx Monsoon. And the Devil's Cord. And it's all really
Much bigger bang than you bargained for. I will shatter this silly...
Now, I'm just going to pop it to normal speed again. We'll pop it to 0.75.
Battlefield into dust. In a heartbeat, into dust. I don't have a people, I don't have a home, but I have freedom. Catch all of these getting into scripts. So I keep moving on to see the next thing.
That shot here, I think that's from the finale. Again, cinematic shot, cinematic finale. It's always, yeah. Or it could be from a different episode. That's the third episode, that's Martina.
And that's just the beginning.
And then I don't think that shot at the end, I don't think that will be in the actual show. I think that's just a thing they made Shu to do for the trailers. This is just beginning, it's only his first season. So yeah, I think trailer so far so good. The trailer is looking brilliant. So yeah, I'm personally going to hopefully enjoy this season. The only bit that's annoying me is released around my exams, but then again, it's kind of something to look forward to at the end of the weeks. Yeah, I know this has been a long video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I really hope you all watch Doctor Who and just tune in. Tune in to maybe the first 2 episodes. If you don't like it, then just leave it. But if you love it, then, or like it, you know, continue watching. Welcome to the fandom. So, obviously, I've been a diehard Doctor Who fan for years, since I was a very small child. I will always be one. Now, until next time, stay safe, stay cool, and peace out.